Welcome to English Story Room. Here, every story helps you feel, imagine, and learn English in a simple way. So relax, listen, and let's begin today's story, The Stranger in the Rain. It was already dark when Sarah left the office. Her shoulders ached, her laptop bag felt heavier than usual, and all she could think about was sleep. The city glowed in shades of gold and blue, streetlights, shop signs, headlights, but she wasn't seeing any of it. All she wanted was to get home, take off her shoes, and disappear under her blanket. She checked her watch, 6:57 p.m. If she hurried, she could still catch the 7 o'clock bus. But as she turned the corner, she saw it, her bus, pulling away from the stop. The red lights flashed, the engine roared, and it was gone before she could even shout. Sarah stopped, breathless. "Seriously?" she said to no one. The first drops of rain landed on her cheeks, small, cold, and annoying. And then, suddenly, the sky opened. Within seconds, the rain was pouring. The coffee stand shelter. Sarah ran across the street and stopped under the small roof of a coffee kiosk called The Daily Grind. It smelled like roasted beans and cinnamon. A flickering neon sign above the counter buzzed softly. Someone else was already there, a man in his early 30s, wearing a gray suit that looked like it had seen better days. He held a small leather briefcase and stared out into the rain. Sarah stood a few feet away, brushing her wet hair off her face. "I think the universe is testing me," she said quietly, almost laughing. The man looked at her and smiled a little. "Yeah," he replied. "I think it's testing both of us." She smiled back. It was enough to start a conversation. A conversation in the rain. His name was Michael. He was an architect, working late for weeks on a new city project. Sarah told him she was a marketing analyst, tired, overworked, and allergic to meetings. They laughed about their bad luck, their jobs, and how everything seemed to go wrong on Fridays. "I usually catch the 6:45, Michael said. "If I miss that, I know the day's doomed." "Same," Sarah replied. "And now I'll probably get home smelling like wet socks." They both laughed again, the kind of laugh that happens when you're too tired to care anymore. The rain kept falling. The world outside looked like a watercolor painting, soft and blurry. The blackout. Just as Sarah was starting to relax, the entire block suddenly went dark. The neon sign above the coffee stand died with a hiss. Streetlights blinked out one by one. For a moment, it was completely silent, except for the sound of the rain. Sarah jumped. "What was that?" Michael looked around calmly. "Power outage, maybe. It happens sometimes." Then, seeing her tense expression, he reached out and gently touched her arm. "Hey. It's okay. We'll be fine right here. The building blocks the wind." His touch was warm, steady, just enough to make her heartbeat slow down. They stood like that, listening to the rain and thunder. The darkness didn't feel scary anymore, just quiet. Peaceful, even. The lamp that glowed. After a few minutes, a soft, golden light flickered from inside the coffee stand. Sarah turned her head. An old oil lamp hung above the counter, burning gently. Its flame danced, throwing warm light across their faces. From behind the counter appeared Mrs. Rodriguez, the elderly owner of the stand. She wore a thick hand-knitted sweater and a calm smile. "Ah," she said, "the lamp's awake again. It only lights up when the right people are here." Sarah blinked. "I'm sorry, what do you mean?" Mrs. Rodriguez pointed to a framed photo under the lamp, a sepia-colored picture of a young couple laughing under an umbrella, sitting right there, at that same counter. "Those two," she said softly, "were my grandparents. They met here 50 years ago, the night the power went out, just like tonight. They both missed the same bus and took shelter from the storm. That lamp turned on for them too." Sarah and Michael exchanged a look, curious, shy, but also strangely connected. "Maybe," Mrs. Rodriguez said. "The rain is never just rain." Time slows down. They stayed a little longer, talking and laughing in the golden glow. Michael shared how he became an architect because his father built furniture by hand. Sarah told him how she used to dream of being a writer before life turned her into a PowerPoint professional. They talked about books, coffee, travel, and childhood memories. The kind of conversation that only happens when there's nothing else to do, no phones, no rush, just two people and the sound of rain. For the first time that day, Sarah felt relaxed. She wasn't thinking about work or the bus. Just a moment. The rain slows. After what felt like hours, though it had only been one, the power came back. Streetlights blinked on again, traffic lights glowed, and the city returned to life. Michael looked at Sarah. "Well, looks like the universe is letting us go now." Sarah smiled. "Maybe it's just giving us a choice." They both laughed softly. He offered to walk her to her next stop. As they left, Mrs. Rodriguez waved. "Don't forget," she said. "The lamp always knows." Outside, the rain had turned into a soft drizzle. Michael opened his umbrella and held it over both of them. They walked slowly, talking like old friends who had only just met. The ending. At the bus stop, Sarah turned to him. "Thank you," she said. "For, being calm during the blackout." He smiled. "And thank you for missing your bus." They both laughed again. Then they exchanged numbers, and she stepped onto her bus when it arrived, the next one. As the bus pulled away, Sarah looked out the window. Michael stood under the rain, waving lightly. The glow from the streetlights made the puddles shimmer like tiny stars. And she thought, maybe that lamp really did know. Moral of the story: the best connections in life don't come planned or scheduled. Sometimes, missing your bus, getting stuck in the rain, or losing power isn't bad luck at all. It's destiny giving you time to notice, to listen, and maybe to meet the right stranger. Thank you for listening to this story on English Story Room. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful English stories every week.